Hey YouTube, it's Tams the Wicked Witch. So I'm back with part 2. So we're already got some more stuff to go through for the folklore. So if you haven't seen part 1, please go and watch it. I'm going to link on each video for part 1 and part 2, whatever way round. Before I confuse myself, this is part 2. Yeah, I'll put the link below for part 1 so you can watch it. But yeah, we're discussing Christmas and Yule folklore and all of the things that, you know, I like to compare. I like to do comparisons with how, you know, our pagan ways have kind of been Christianized, and I like going over it and sharing it with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. So we've obviously gone through quite a few things. Now, in the first video, I couldn't remember what the female type version of Santa in one of the countries was. So it's in Italy, and her name was Befana, and I hope I pronounced that right. And she would go around the 4th or 5th of January, I think, out delivering presents to children. So again, there's like a whole new kind of same kind of vibe. She kind of, in the paintings that I'd seen, she was kind of in green dress, like robe wear, and yeah, she would go out around the 5th or 5th of January delivering presents. So again, that was kind of cool. Sorry, I couldn't remember her name because I didn't have any notes or anything in the first one. I know all this stuff and I'm always talking about it, but the camera comes on and I sometimes forget. So let's hope I don't forget anything else. So we're gonna I'm not gonna go over the whole Krampus thing. Absolutely love Krampus. I'm sure you all know Krampus is. He's the big old beastie, half goat, half man, half beast, Santa Claus. They call him the pagan Santa. Massive in Germany. They have Krampus Day and several other of the European countries. Everyone dresses up as him. He leaves a piece of coal. He hangs the kids in baskets. We're not going to go over it, but I will show you my Krampus bell, which is all engraved with his name on it. And that hangs over here. It is actually on my altar. It hangs on that rabbit's ear. And I have a small one on the tree as well. So yeah, I really like Krampus. He's cool. Obviously as pagans, so for pagan people, witches, Wiccans, their Holly King and the Oak King story, where the Holly King and the Oak King fight for reign over, you know, their half of the year. They're like twins. I'm not going to go over all of that because I'll probably cover a bit of that in my Yule video, so we're not going to do that, or Krampus, to be honest, and you probably know all of that, but I do have some other bits and pieces that I wanted to go through. So first of all, mistletoe. Mistletoe is a really, really popular plant, real big deal to the Druids. The Druids loved mistletoe for its healing properties, and they weren't the only ones that absolutely adored mistletoe. The ancient Greeks really loved mistletoe as well, the plant mistletoe, and they would hang it in their feast of Saturnalia. There would be mistletoe hanging, and also it was used in wedding ceremonies. The ancient Greeks would use it in wedding ceremonies because it promoted fertility, and obviously people just getting married, they wanted to have like a strong family and lots of babies, and because of the healing powers in it and the fertility, it was really, really popular, and it would hang in the wedding ceremonies. And in the Roman era, any Roman enemies in kind of dispute with the Romans, so any of their enemies, they would discuss and try and sort out anything that they would try and come to an agreement. They would do it under mistletoe because of the properties and the strength that the plant had. So again, when you're thinking about these things, you're kind of thinking about, it's a bit like witches using their plants and their herbs, and the pagan people using their plants and herbs for magic and for kind of, not so much spell work, but for things that we use it for, like we use it in tinctures and oils, and for, you know, we use these plants to power up our stuff. And this is kind of the same thing. People are using it in ceremonies because it promotes this and that. So it's kind of cool, you know, this kind of stuff with using herbs and obviously plants, in this case mistletoe, it's thousands of years old. I mean, you know, so yeah, the Druids, the ancient Greeks, and the Roman era, the Romans absolutely real big fans of mistletoe. And I said in the first video with the evergreen, how they used to bring evergreen, pagan people in times would bring in the winter the evergreen from the trees and decorate the house. And people do that now at Christmas. They actually can buy it and decorate, and it looks lovely. But it was just really to remind them, and so that they had faith in the fact that yes, the sun was coming back on the 21st of December. The sun would return, and then it would be going into warmer times, and spring would be coming, and it would be to remind them that there would be green lush grass again, and warmer times things would grow, and this and that. And it was so that they, part of their belief system, so that they had that to look forward to, because they were, I suppose they didn't have the intelligence that we had. They didn't know when it got dark and winter like that, would it ever return? And that's where they were going with it. It was kind of like they bring it in to kind of almost honour it, if you will, that it was coming back, which I find quite sweet. And then, last but not least, we'll wrap it up because I don't want to bore you all to tears for half an hour, is holly water, which sounds very much like holy water, doesn't it? So holly's very prickly and spiky. If you've ever fell off your mountain bike and landed in it, which I have, it hurts. Yeah, it's very spiky, and they would make wreaths on their doors. They would decorate the outside to ward off evil, because they believed that the spikiness of the holly would, you know, it's a really good protection plant. So it's used in protection, okay? And again, just as witches, we use different plants and herbs in protection. Holly was used in protection, and it was hung outside. It was also soaked in water. So they would put holly in water, and they would use the holly water to anoint a newborn baby to keep it safe. Now, I'm sorry, but that's really obvious what that is. And I'm going to end the video there. I absolutely love looking into folklore and talking about it, and I hope you guys have found it interesting as well. And if you've got any for me, please write them below, because I do love to know and learn new stuff. And obviously there's loads of things that I haven't discussed today, because it could go on forever, but I've tried to do the most interesting bits. And yeah, so if you want to watch part 1, if you haven't already, I'll put a link below, and vice versa. Obviously, you don't need vice versa because you're watching this now. What am I talking about? Anyway, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all soon for the Yule video. See you later. Bye.